Are Manchester United doing the right thing in looking at getting rid of Rasmus Højlund? Let's find out. Guys, welcome. Yes, it is Dan United here for another video. And we're going to talk today about Rasmus Højlund. And are Manchester United doing the right thing here and allowing this guy to go out on loan? Now, we know stats-wise last season, this guy, 14 goals and assists in 52 games. It was not enough for Manchester United. But then we also have Xerxes, which a lot of people in my chat on plenty of streams have been telling me that Xerxes is the guy that should be number 2 to Sesko. Here's where I disagree. We have seen last season, we have heard also from the guy himself that Xerxes sees himself more as a 9.5. Manchester United have just signed this guy, Sesko, who I genuinely feel like is going to be the guy that comes in and scores a fair few goals for us. But this guy cannot do it all on his own. Sesko has come here at 22 years old, hasn't hit 15 goals in a season yet in the league. So we need to be having someone, I feel like, that can push him to make himself a better striker. This is where this man comes here now. Now, as we can see, Rasmus does know where the back of the net is every now and then. But I would go as far as to say that in pre-season, we have seen him improve the way he is playing football. He looks fresher. He looks stronger. He looks like he is getting to grips with the formation and how the game is played around him. Noticeably, when we played Everton, when we played Fiorentina, I felt like the whole game was absolutely ruined because we didn't have Rasmus up top. Now, some people will turn and say, Dan, you're talking absolute nonsense, but hear me out here. Look at these goals here and look at the finishes that Rasmus does. There is still someone there at 22 years old who can learn his trade at Manchester United. For so long, Manchester United have literally had it where it's just been one striker and that is it. That striker is the main guy to go out there and get the goals. But this season, he is going to have Mbeumo. He is going to have Cunha. He is also going to have Dorgu, Bruno, and Diallo or Diallo to be feeding chances up there. Now, we know from past times that when he does have the chance, he has been known to put the ball in the back of the net. 6 goals in 6 games. The youngest person to do that. You don't do that by accident in the Premier League. So it goes back to the old question. Are Manchester United doing the right thing or the wrong thing? For me, if Manchester United want to go into this season with all systems firing and have a lot of answers to any questions that might be asked throughout the season, then I think you keep Rasmus Højlund. Joshua Xerxes, I genuinely think the way that he plays, I think he is more adaptable to drop down into those 10 positions. We also have this guy, Chida Obi, on the bench there that can come on and do bits. But remember, he is 17 years old. Manchester United are doing the right things in the transfer market this season. However, we need a squad of players to achieve what we want this season. We will not achieve a top 5 finish with the bare 11. There are players that are going to go to Africa for the African Cup of Nations, and we know that that is going to absolutely ruin what we want to do at that time in the season. Mbeumo, Diallo, to name a few. We don't have Baleba yet. That's another story. Also Anana, but again, that's for another time. So for me, I think keeping Rasmus Højlund at the club makes more sense than getting rid of him. Now, I will absolutely sit here and take the L because I've said to you guys early on in the transfer window, we can't start the season with this guy. And you know something? I stand by that. I absolutely stand by that. We cannot start with this guy. But I think with Sesko joining the club, I think it gives this kid a lot more ability and chance to grow and chance to shine. We've seen it before where a striker will be played and played and played throughout bad form. Manchester United have been famed for doing this for so long. However, if you have someone on the bench that you can bring in, if Sesko isn't hitting the ground running, if you have someone that you can bring off the bench when Sesko is injured or tired, who has played in this league, be it he hasn't been prolific, but I think there is a lot more to come from this lad. Put it aside the fact that his ability last season wasn't the best. I actually think what you've got here is a player that will give his absolute all for Manchester United. Is this me doing a complete 180 on this player? Maybe, maybe not. But please remember, my first thing to say about this is in the squad. Rasmus Højlund, a squad player. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell to be notified when we are going live. We are live 9 o'clock every night. Dan United, Uta!